Hey guys, I'm the 50s Kid. This is a 2004 Ford Crown Victoria that I've worked on before. I'm on location here because it's got a dead fuel pump. So we're gonna go ahead and change it in this video. So let's get started. So this is the new pump that we have to install. You could just, change this pump if you want to, but we opted to go for a new one. That way we get a new gasket and everything. You don't have to worry about leaks because this thing is bolted on the side of the frickin' fuel tank. The fuel tank is turned on its side. So this gasket is terribly important when your tank is full. Being on its side, this wire goes up and it goes around to the top of the fuel tank and connects to a pressure sensor that's right on the top of the fuel tank. And to get this thing off, you actually have to push this downward in order to raise that top thing there, and then it pulls out. And of course this is right up on top of the body. So it's really not possible to get your hand in on top of that right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to come in from the side and reach a pick tool in there and get up over it and then just lever like that and push backward at the same time. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to film it as best I can. All right, well, there's just no way that I can get you a close-up on this while I'm doing it because there's no room. So you get to just watch me. So hopefully I can get my pick tool right in here. Yeah, issue is I can't really get the pick tool up over top of that. It's weathered. It's really hard, that plastic. Oh, never mind. I got it. There. Yay. I'm happy about that. There's a little, there's sort of a metal clip that holds it to the side of the fuel tank, to the pinch weld on the fuel tank. So I'm just sort of trying to get it underneath. There's a fuel line right there. I'm just gonna pull backward here. And it's just like a little metal clip. I'll show you, and I'll show you closer on the new one. So we are looking in through the passenger rear. I've already taken the tire off, and the fuel tank is here. It's it's turned on its side. We've got the fuel pump right here. It's sideways. And the issue we have is that the exhaust is just right in front of it, which is really stupid because they could have bent this exhaust so that it was right here, just an inch this way. No idea why they did it this way, but I'm gonna see if I can move the exhaust. It's on one hanger in the back, and there's another hanger sort of midway where the rear muffler is. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to remove those exhaust hangers and see if we can just get this thing to flex out of the way an inch or two. Okay, here's the rear exhaust hanger up here. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of silicone spray, which is basically rubber safe lubricant. So kind of let that get in there, and I'm just gonna slip it off with a pry bar. I just slipped this exhaust hanger, which was up here, and I just slipped that off of the top right there. So I think rather than slipping the exhaust off the hanger right here, I'm just gonna unbolt the hanger from the side right there. To do that, I'm gonna use one wrench, one 10mm box wrench, and then I'm gonna use the double wrench trick, which is where you slip another wrench over it like that to extend it and get more leverage. The reason I'm doing this is because I can't get a socket in right here. There's not enough room. And that worked. Yay. And now I can use a wrench for this one. Okay, so now we should be able to just move the exhaust over a little, theoretically. Actually, problem is our hangers sort of in the way. Well, that'll be kind of funny. End up taking it off anyway. In fact, that might be the case. No, I'm just gonna move it down like that. So I've gone and lowered the jack so that the exhaust can flex downward a little bit, and normally it's, you know, up here like this over that way, and now that I've lowered the lowered it and let it flex, it can just come downward. And I'm just gonna slip the rubber hanger over down, and it's gonna kind of hold itself out of the way, so we should be pretty good. Hopefully we can see up in here how we just, you know, should have enough room. Okay, hopefully this is a good view for everybody. We got to get this fuel line off, and there's a little clip that you pull off, safety clip, metal safety clip that's supposed to remain hanging, but the little hanger broke off. No big deal. You need one of these disconnect tools. So if you're using the plastic ones like I am, it's the blue one. I guess that's 3/8. So you need a 3/8 disconnect tool. The metal ones are like really expensive, but this should work well enough. Slip that over and you push it in. It's good to push the line this way to get tension off of the springs that are holding it on there. Then you can push the tool in, and then you should, the operative word being should, be able to get it off. But sometimes it's a little tricky. Okay, I guess I need to go get the proper tool. Alrighty. Got the proper metal tool here. And it comes right off. Probably gonna be leaking just a tad bit of fuel. What's in that line? So if you have an older Crown Vic, you probably have two of these lines that you got to disconnect. They're the older ones had a return type fuel system. This one's returnless. This harness, or this harness right here, it goes up around in the top of this thing, and the connector is clipped back in there. You just got to grab it and sort of pull it off of its little boss, and then you got it right there, and you can just sort of push this little tab in. It's right here. You push this little tab in and separate it. I can't do it with one hand, but that's what it looks like. There. So got that separated. Just pull it down, I guess. There. So just pull that metal, this metal thing, just pull it downward. Took me a little too long to think of that. Okay, so these must be 8s. Luckily this fuel tank is near empty. If yours isn't, be prepared to catch fuel. Okay, I need to fish that wire out from over there. So this wire, they tucked it up between the fuel tank and the rail here. So I don't see how it's going to be possible to even get this out. I'm going to have to cut it. So they just really didn't make this easy at all. Obviously when putting it back in, we're not doing it that way. I'm just going to use some zip ties. Screwdriver, I'm going to try to break the seal here. Oh, okay, it's coming. Can you hear the seal breaking? There we go. I'm gonna cut this because screw it. thing's old, we're not reusing it. I'm done with that. If you're reusing this, just be careful not to bend the float arm. Okay, what are we caught on? Okay, now it's time to reinstall. I'm going to carefully get this back up into place because this differential is really dirty. It's been leaking and I don't want to get any crud on this brand new pump. So I can just go ahead and maneuver it up into place here. Lovely. Okay, I've got a slightly longer socket because I needed some length to get over this right here. And yeah, I'm using this tool to tighten them on because it's only got like 26 foot-pounds. So it's not gonna go crazy enough to snap these. But I'm also not going the final way with it. I can see that I'm just squishing the gasket here. And I can also just use this tool as a normal ratchet. And I can definitely feel how much torque I'm giving. It's like a normal ratchet. Then I'm just doing this in a star pattern, really. Not sure what the torque spec is. There must be one, I'm sure. Didn't bring my torque wrench. You don't really need one. You just have to kind of know. The whole idea here is just try to get even on all of them. You obviously do not want this thing to leak, but you don't want to snap these bolts off. So it's kind of a delicate thing. You want to give the same pressure for each one. You don't want to give too much pressure, you'll snap them off. And you don't want it to be so loose that it's going to leak when you fill your tank up. So I think I'm going to get my normal ratchet just to kind of be sure, because I know what that one feels like. I actually shouldn't be using this this long-handled one because, you know, this will definitely provide too much torque, but I know it by feel. So I'm just sort of lightly pulling on it just to see where we're at. See, I can tell that one was tighter. That one's really tight. That one's good. We'll come over here. This one needed just a little more. And see, that one was really tight. I can just tell that way. I can just tell how much is needed. This one needed a little bit more. And then as you tighten other ones, you can come back to ones that you thought were tight before, and you'll find that you could give them a little more. And so that's why it's okay to keep going. Just keep checking them all. Give them about the same firm pressure. Yep, that one's good, that one's good. This one could go just a little more. There, right about there is good. That one a little more. Right about there. Right about there. And that's it. That's how we do that. Go ahead and snap that quick disconnect, or that quick connect fitting back on there. This is the safety holder tool thingy. Now we'll just get our wiring harnesses snapped in, and we'll be done. So this one's gonna go around the side here, and this was the little clip that clips onto the side right up here. So I'm gonna put that one in place, and it looks like you've got a little metal thing here that probably goes over somewhere. It looks like it's a little too big. So it's probably, the idea is to keep it out of the way of the exhaust. Well, we're just gonna leave it like that because that's all we can do. Pop this over top here, and we'll get it snapped in. Of course, I can't get the grip on this thing. I'm gonna reach up. There we go. So that one's up, that one's in place. That ain't going nowhere. Okay, so we need to get this exhaust hanger back on. I've already got I already slipped on the rear exhaust hanger. I forgot to turn on the camera, sorry guys. But it's just a matter of, you know, re-lubing it with some silicone spray and just kind of hooking it back on, pushing it on with your hand. It's easy. You want to make sure you get them both started first before you start going. That way it's just easiest on you. And I'm just using my elbow to kind of prop it up and hold it in place. Hold the muffler in place, that is, and take tension off of it so that it's easier to turn. And it kind of feels like I've gotten it mostly in place there. Use that same wrench trick to tighten them on. Torque them down. There you go. Torque to factory spec. So now I'm just going to reconnect it, make sure that this little end with the little thing that you push down is up, and I'm just going to do my best to slip that into place. Okay, so what I had to do was I had to push this line right here. This line is what is holding the pressure sensor that it's connected to. I had to just push that down because it was pressing up against the body, and then I was able to get enough room to get that on, and you just heard it snap. So that is it. I believe we are done. Exhaust is in. That's good. I'm gonna put the wheel back on and we'll try to start the car. Actually, we have a new fuel filter. I'm gonna change that. It's actually just right there underneath the car, right here where the jack stand is. It's immediately up there. And yeah, I'll try to film that if I can. But otherwise, we'll just try to start the car and we'll be done. Okay, so I've got a smaller quick disconnect tool because the 3/8 is a little too big. And I'm hoping that this is just a standard, oh, I see, it's probably I think what it is there's a little lock on this right here. Yeah, I just snapped that out. It's one of those. That's the lock there. Yeah, okay, you just pull after you get that lock off. Get gas all over you. That sort of thing. Ooh, it stings. Yeah, gas in the armpit. If you haven't had the pleasure, you have to do it once in life. So you can just sort of push the clip through from the back here. I'm realizing now. I haven't done one of these newer ones. Okay, man. There. Pull that sucker out. More gas in the armpit. Yay. I think this has to come off all the way. Or at least most of the way. So that you can get the fuel filter through. Ah. There we go. Old fuel filter on the grass. Lock that on. Get the clamp going again. Slip our locks back on right there. And I believe from right there. Like that. And that's it for that. So what you want to do is you want to turn the ignition on and let the fuel pump prime and turn it off. Then do it again a couple times. Keep going. I heard it too. Yeah, I can hear the fuel pump priming. Okay, try to start it. Well, that's pretty much it. We are all done. All I would really say is definitely get one of those metal quick disconnect tools. Do not use a plastic one. Those things suck and they're just gonna frustrate you. Other than that, please like and subscribe. I'm the 50s Kid. Thanks a lot for watching.